Before I get into this article and this video, I want to read a comment that was left on one of my past videos. The video was titled, Black Women and Her Bad Attitude, The Negative Disasters. The comment reads as follows. A white man will pick up a white prostitute off the street, dust her off, and give her patient love and kindness, just like the white man did in Malcolm X. But the black man, who is now serial killing his women, feeding them toxic drugs, raping them, calling them hoe, sitting by while their black children are gunned down in the streets, think that will make the black woman love and trust him. Provide, protect, and profess, just like you are doing for that white woman. You're treating her better because the white man in her family will kill you. And then she add, fact. Now I want you to keep that comment in mind, and I'm sure that many of you will have your own opinions on that comment. But again, I want you to keep that comment in mind, especially where she talks about what the black man would do versus what the white man do, and how the white man treats his white woman. And that seemed to be an issue in the black community. And we rarely find that in any other communities, including the white communities, where they will promote another race over their own. I'm not saying it don't happen, because I've heard it happen, but not at the level that is happening within the so-called black community. Now, my son's mother and myself, we had a pretty heated discussion about this article where the black female was beaten down by a white man because of a part, or actually it happened for blocking his car in a parking lot. Now, this is the second incident that took place where a so-called black person, and I hate using that term black, but a so-called black person was defeated by a so-called white person. First, we heard about the article where the black dude was shot. The Amazon driver was shot and paralyzed by a white dude because he was parked in a handicapped spot. Now, here's an issue where a black female is being beat down, violently beat down. First, she was threatened with a handgun, and now violently beat down by a white dude. And the thing that's interesting about this is that, well, better yet, the discussion that my son's mom and I had was, she agreed with me up to the point where she felt that the white dude went over and beyond when he was punching her. Now, it's a hard thing to watch for anyone to watch it, especially women seeing a man. And lately in the news, they've always talked about toxic masculinity, and even gun control. So now we hear a lot of white dudes now that's growing violently aggressive towards black people. And one of the weapons that they use and always display is a handgun. Now, it's interesting because of the fact that when I hear someone like my son's mom say, well, he shouldn't have hit her like he did because he's a man. And one thing I try to get across to her is that there is no fairness in a fight. And I spoke on this in the video of the past where I said there's really no fairness in war. So if someone walks up and slaps me with an open hand, am I supposed to be fair and slap that person with an open hand? So if I punch that person that slapped me with an open hand, did I go over and beyond? In the time we're living in now, someone would say, well, you didn't have to punch him as hard as you did. I only slapped you. Well, you had no business putting your hands on me in the first place. And a lot of the messages that I've been trying to get through to people is to leave people alone. Now, I've been in situations where I pulled into the parking lot in the post office, and a black female blocked me in. When I came out, her car was in back of mine crossways. She was parked wrong in the post office parking lot. She was dropping off her mom's or grandmother, whoever she was. So my brake lights was on. I'm getting ready to back out, and I figure like, okay, well, she's letting somebody's off. She see I'm trying to back up. She's gonna move. But instead, after she let this senior out, she stayed there. So I blew the horn, and she stayed there. So I got out the car because of the fact that the way my car, in the direction my car is pointing, there's no way I could really talk to her. So sometimes you need to get out your vehicle. Not to be aggressive towards the person, but to let the person know, like, listen, I'm here. I'm trying to back out. So I get out the car and I say, excuse me, could you back up? I'm trying to get out. She, with an attitude, moved the car. She slightly moved it up a little bit and left very limited space for me to back out. I had to really maneuver my car to get out of that tight spot that she put me in. Another thing that I find that happens in the black community, things that black people do, is that you're driving down the street, they'll stop right in the middle of traffic and hold conversation. Sometimes cars park next to each other in the street. So you like, either you're going to patiently wait, you're going to turn around and go back the other direction, or you're going to blow your horn and now have to deal with confrontation. Because now they get upset and aggressive towards you because you blew your horn and say, yo, could you move? I'm trying to get by. And they'll probably either shoo you like, man, forget you, man, and keep doing what they're doing. So now either you're going to turn around and go the other direction, or it's going to escalate, because that's what black folks do. And I know there's a lot of black people that don't like to hear me talk like this, but it's the truth. You deal with it every day, whether you live in the hood or you don't. When dealing with black folk, these are some of the things you're going to deal with in some point in time in your life. So if this female was, number one, blocking his car in a parking lot, especially if she's facing the wrong direction. And one of the biggest things it's a pet peeve to me, like when people do things, they are fully aware of what they do, and then they say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, I made a mistake. So now I'm supposed to forgive you because you intentionally did something. And then says, yeah, I know I was facing the wrong direction. I'm coming out of the post office, and then it's a one-way street, I'm getting ready to make a left-hand turn, but yet there's this black female, in many cases, or this black dude coming down the one-way street, coming down the wrong road. So now I'm going to have to wait for this person to go about their business for me to continue traveling, because they chose to travel down a one-way street the opposite direction. So when dealing with a situation like this, and this man, more than likely, he came out and says, excuse me, can you move your car? You're blocking me in. What she should have done was says, oh, I apologize, and move your car. But if you're going to sit there and make somebody wait for you when you get ready to move, it's going to create a problem. And although this female now is viewed as the victim, she should have just moved her car. If she had got in her car and said, look, I apologize, let me move out the way, because she was wrong. She even admitted that she was wrong. So get in your car, I apologize, let me move. Not just to a white man, because black folk got a habit of moving for white people, but then if that was another black woman or a black dude, she would have just sat there and made him wait. But we're living in a society, man, where people are fed up, they're tired, and no one really knows what the next person is going through in life. And this is not letting him off the hook. This is not an excuse for what he did. Because like my son's mom said, if I had a daughter, I said, well, we have a granddaughter. I said, and that's the same viewpoint that a lot of black females take. A lot of black women take that, like, well, what if you had a daughter, right? And like I told her, I said, we have a granddaughter. So it's our responsibility, especially mine, to make sure that our granddaughter don't put herself in that situation. Number one, she's taught and will be taught to never get in a man's face. Never think that you can outpower another man. Because she's got a dad, she's got uncles, she got cousins, she's got a granddad. You have an army. And if you are in the right, and this is a key factor right here, if you are in the right, you have an army to back you up. You don't need to get in a man's face to try to physically defeat him, knowing that he's stronger than you are. Right? So you don't need to get in a man's face. So she would be taught to never get in a man's face. And I told my son's mom, I said, it's just like our two sons. When they were raised and how they were raised, they were always taught never to get in an adult's face. If you're in school and you disagree with that adult or that teacher, you don't sit there and argue with them. You don't fight with them. You don't curse them out. So that somebody will have a video of you acting up in classroom, putting it out on social media. If that teacher is wrong or if that adult is wrong, then you come back and you let your parents know, it's my job to address that, not you. You're the child. I'm the adult. So if you have an issue with an adult, you come and let your parents know, and your parents will deal with that. You never get in an adult's face. Never. So, in the same token is the way we need to raise our daughters and our sons. You never get in a man's face. Because you get in a man's face, you're taking a chance and getting a man's butt whooping. Because the way this society is going on, you have guys nowadays, the way this society is set up is like you got guys that's paying child support. They're being incarcerated. Their licenses are being suspended. They're being accused of sexual assault or harassment. just because they looked at a woman, or just because they complimented a woman, or even just because of the fact they told a woman, you look good. So now his livelihood is at stake. If he's got a family, now he's got a chance of losing his wife. You know, so you have a lot of guys, man, that's under pressure. And when you have a female like this, and she had no business hitting this man. She hit him. He pulled the gun out, number one. That should have been enough for her to like back away from him. Although he put that gun away, when she pulled his cell phone out, he slapped it out of her hands. She now hit him and cursed at him. It's in the video. Now she must have forgot that this man's got a firearm in his pockets, and he pulled it out. Pick your phone up and move on. But then she turned and hit this man, and now whatever he's going through in life, and this is not an excuse, but whatever he's going through in life, he's now taking that out on her. Because if you look at how that man beat her, he uppercut her, he was taking out, it was more than just what just happened, because this man was taking out some serious aggression out on her. I don't know if he lost his lover, because he looked gay to me. I don't know if he was cheated on by his gay lover by a woman, and now he hate women. But he took his aggression out on her. You can just see it in that video. He was wrong, but so was she. So what I was trying to tell my son's mom is like, a fight is a fight. There's no fairness in a fight. When she hit that man and she was like, well, he touched her. She said, I see her. He touched her because he slapped the phone out of her hand. Yeah, but she could have picked that phone up and moved on. She saw he had a firearm. But when she turned around and hit him, now you're in a fight. And he didn't see no woman. Whatever he was going through or whatever was in his head, he took his aggression out on her. And I mentioned in videos of the past that black women are the most unprotected women on this planet. And you have black females that attack me for that, for saying that. They don't want to believe it. And if you listen to the original video, right at the end of that video, you heard a black dude saying, you know, man, that's a female, but he didn't do one thing to try to help her. He stood there video recording that. He stood right there video recording that while this woman was getting beat down. And we're in a time now where dudes, especially black men, will not get involved. Black men have went through so much, men have been through so much with women nowadays. With the, I don't need a man, I'm independent, I got my own this, that, my own that, I don't need you. You have black females going to the gym, getting buffed up. You have these dykes now that's threatening men, standing up in men's face. We watch countless videos of black women going inside restaurants attacking the workers there. So now you got dudes that saying like, look, you come at me like a man, I'm going to handle you like a man. I'm not going to see a woman. And that's what I see happening in this video. Again, the dude to me looked gay. So maybe he feel because he's gay, he can get away with this. Because now they're on equal playing fields. And I mentioned this in a prior video. They're now on equal playing fields. But dude had no compassion on this woman. No compassion at all. Again, I don't know the woman, but when you have a woman that attack a man physically or violently, it's not like when I was coming up, because when I came up, black men defended their women. This would have never happened. Black men defend their women. You would have seen brothers come out of every direction. But nowadays, brothers stand back, man, because look, if I go trying to defend this woman, I'll end up in trouble. I'll end up dead somewhere. defending somebody who don't even like me, who would get on YouTube and tell you or brag about how strong she is and how she can do everything that you do and how she don't need you and how independent she is. Black females need to change. You need to change your language. You need to change your language, your actions, things you do, because right now you are by yourself. And you may talk about brothers getting gunned down in the street and brothers going through this, but we're still moving forward. You don't see too many incidents where brothers are going to get beat down in the street like that. The Amazon driver, he got shot. He had a gun. He was trying to get away from that firearm. Now, it would have been a different story if they went head up. If the dude had to put his hands on the Amazon driver. But anyway, I'm sorry for those people that wanted to see the video and I talked you too much. But anyway, this is the article right here. I'm not going to read it. I'm going to put the article on the bottom. You guys can go see it for yourself. But you see the title. Video shows white man violently beating black woman for blocking his car in parking lot. Now, this is the white knight that the female that made that comment that I read at the beginning of the video. This is what her white knight did to his queen. Right? The white knight beat the black queen down. That's what he do, but she bragged about him. And listen, we got to get out of the habit of judging relationships by race or by color. Thinking that one color is better than the other color. One color does things that the other color don't do. A white man don't do this. A white man treat us better. A white man do that. Or a black man is a rapist. Or a black man is a, disrespect women. And white men would never do that. See, that's where you're wrong. Because every day you are being proved wrong. But anyway, I'm going to get on with the video. I'm going to let you read it for yourself. But this is the video right here. Let me make sure the volume is up. Because you know how that be. I want to make sure it's up so you guys can hear it. So check this video out and tell me what you think.
Dallas police say it started with an exchange of words between a man and a woman whose car was reportedly blocking a parking lot exit behind the High and Tight barbershop and speakeasy, where Austin Sheffield was working as a bartender and can be seen on this video holding a gun. When the woman on the video pulls out her phone to call 911, Sheffield slaps it out of her hand and she hits him. That's when the man delivers as many as 5 punches and uppercuts to the woman, while witnesses recording video gasp in disbelief.
Bro, you're in big trouble.
It's horrific what happened in the video itself.
The owner of the bar and barbershop where Sheffield works says it was shocking to see such bad behavior from an otherwise good employee.
A very good employee. Someone that never has an anger or, reached out in any way to hurt or be violent towards anyone.
The assault on video, especially involving someone who works in Deep Ellum, won't help the neighborhood's image, which has been tarnished by disturbances and crimes that businesses like this scooter store say are keeping people away.
Right, I'm concerned for the safety of people coming down here because it's bad for business. I want them to feel safe. Men and women alike need to feel safe and not vulnerable when they come down to Deep Ellum. This is a very happy community, so we don't like this at all.
Now, did you hear that brother in the back? Hey, man, chill. It's a female. But he didn't do anything. Him and the white dude that was with him saying, yo, man, you're in trouble. They did nothing to help this black woman out. They did nothing. And see, that's where we are in society today. See, men are not going to stand in defense of women today like we used to. It's just not going to happen. Every now and then you may find it, and it's a rarity, and it becomes popular on YouTube or Facebook, but we don't see it too often nowadays because of the stance that women have taken against men. So why would you, if you feel that I'm toxic, if you hate men, if you're always protesting against men, the Me Too movement, why would you want my toxic energy to defend you. You understand? Why would I use my toxic energy to defend someone that don't even like me, that would be quick to have me arrested, that would falsely accuse me of sexual assault, harassment, or molestation? So the best thing to do is, like, if it happens, like, hey, I got my video camera, I'm going to become a YouTube or a Facebook sensation, because I'm going to now post that video and everybody going to see it. They're going to make me famous. See, so one thing I try to get across to my son's mom is like, look, a fight is a fight. And I told her, I said, just like you. I said, see, you're protected. I said, you're protected. So you really can't identify with that. If a dude comes up to her, and you know, and it goes back to that video I made a couple of days ago, where it's like, if a dude is respected, man, if dude is respected, he know how to defend himself and whatnot. You know, dudes, a lot of times guys would get, a dude would respect another dude just on the strength of him, of who he is. You understand? It doesn't mean that, like, for example, it doesn't mean that I'm unbeatable. I'm not saying that there's no dude out there that can defeat me. I'm not saying that. But a man knows another man. And even if there's a dude out there that can defeat one dude, he's still going to have enough respect for that man not to disrespect his wife or his girlfriend or his child's moms or any woman in his family. And he may even be warned, like, yo, man, that's such and such moms, or that's such and such sister, you know? Don't mess with her, man. And there's dudes that will come to the defense of another dude's family just on the strength of respect. Just because he's got that kind of respect for him. So I told her, and it's funny because my sons can't do nothing around this city without somebody coming back telling me. If they just happen to see my son somewhere, there's workers out there, UPS workers, bus drivers, regardless. There's so many people that know me or know of me from my business, and they will come back, thugs, drug dealers, gangbangers, come back and tell me, yo, this is what I saw. They will come back and tell me. Not that they're snitching or doing anything like that. They're just in conversation. They come back and tell me. So when you have that kind of respect, man, or that kind of rapport with people, man, other people, man, will be the protector for you. I'm sure there's times I don't even have to lift my hand, man, because there's always somebody out there, even in church, there's somebody out there that, like, you know, hey, don't mess with that. Leave it alone. Right? Just on the strength. But like I said to her, like, see, you don't have to worry about that because you're protected. You know? Because it's her side of the family. It's my side of the family. Right? You know? I mean, church family. You know? It's like, you're protected. You don't have to worry about anything like that. You know? Because, and she don't have to get up in a man's face. All she got to do is just let her army of men know what happened. And they take care of that. So I'm going to put the link on the bottom. You guys feedback and tell me what you think. But in situations like this, it's unfortunate. But we're in a society now where men don't even feel nothing. They just look at that as like, wow, that's too bad. And one of the first thoughts going to come to their mind is like, what did she do? She had no business blocking him in. She should have just moved when he asked her to. So feedback, tell me what you think. Till next time. I'm fearless.